Hello, my name is Michael Veit, and today I'd like to introduce you to the SMB Promo Synchronized Security, which includes endpoint and server protection licenses, as well as central email, an XG firewall appliance, including the XG Enterprise Guard license. But first of all, you need to create two accounts. Go to the Sophos website to create your Sophos ID. On the upper right-hand side, click on the person symbol, then go to Create Sophos ID. Here you enter your name, email address and password, say continue, and now your Sophos ID was created. You get a confirmation email and need to confirm the creation by clicking on the link. After you've done this, you can start right away, log into your Sophos ID account, which is used to manage your licenses, to download software, or in the case of this SMB promo, you can register your XG Firewall appliance by clicking on Register Device. Enter the serial number, which is found on the bottom of the XG Firewall appliance, and after clicking Verify, this firewall appliance is registered to your Sophos ID account. Under View Devices, you can have a look at the serial number of the firewall appliance which is registered here. Next thing to do is to create a Sophos Central account. Go to the Sophos website, Products, Sophos Central, Free Trial, enter your name, business email address and confirm a few times, and you're done. Your Sophos Central account is created. You get another confirmation email, check your emails, and there's the confirmation email with the link Activate to get started. Click on it. Here you enter and confirm your password, say where the data should be stored, and press Activate the account. After logging into the account for the first time, the first thing you should do is go to Licenses and enter the activation code provided with the SMB promo, which includes all the licenses for client and server protection. Next thing is to configure the XG firewall. The LAN interface got a fixed IP. The WAN interface should be able to connect to the internet using DHCP. Log into the admin GUI over the LAN interface, enter the credentials admin. Enter the serial number found on the bottom of the device, press Activate. You need to be connected to the internet, remember. It has been successfully activated the device. Now synchronize the license, and after you've done this, you can click here to get started with the network configuration wizard. We're configuring this XG firewall in the default gateway mode. We leave the internal fixed IP as it is, just as the external DHCP address. DNS we also obtain from DHCP. We can change the hostname if we like. We add a default user network policy. We enter information for notifications via email. We specify time zone and NTP server information. And after we're done, we can still review everything and now press Finish. Now the appliance is configured with all this information. After it's done, press on the link displayed to access the admin console. Log into the admin GUI using admin, and if you look at the control center for the first time, there are a few things which need to be configured. Go to Messages Alert, click on it, and there you see that the default password for admin has to be changed. Click there, scroll down and enter the current password admin and create a new safe password. Press Apply. Now go back to the control center. Click on Security Heartbeat Configure. Here you enter the credentials for your Sophos Central account. This is needed to connect this firewall to the Sophos Central account for the Security Heartbeat function. Let's just jump to Sophos Central and have a look how this is reflected there. If you go there to System Settings, Registered Firewall Appliances, here are all the firewall appliances which can do Security Heartbeat with the endpoints and servers protected in this Sophos Central account. Here it is. Now let's start with configuring and installing endpoint protection. In Sophos Central, go to Policies, Base Policy, and we leave everything just as it is. Like the threat protection, we leave at default settings. That's including runtime protection from Intercept X from modern threats. The only thing we change is under device encryption, and we click on Enable Encryption of Endpoints. and then we press Save. Now go to Protect Devices. There you can download the complete Windows installer, which includes the Endpoint Protection Advanced, Intercept X against modern threats like ransomware, as well as device encryption. Now copy this installer to the system you want to protect. There you just run the Sophos install. Press on Next, and after a few checks, press Install. Now the client installs all the necessary services, downloads a bit additional software, and you're done. In order to get full protection, the system needs to be restarted. That's what we're doing right now. Remember that we activated hard disk encryption? So on first start now, you get prompted to enter a BitLocker password. This BitLocker password from now on is necessary in order to unlock the hard disk even before Windows starts. In order to activate this, we need to press on Restart and Encrypt. A message comes up saying that encryption will begin after the computer restart. Okay, let's have a look at this. After the system restarted, now you get prompted for the BitLocker password, the one which you just specified. After entering the password, Windows starts normally. After logging into Windows, you can have a look at the encryption process by pressing on the BitLocker symbol. Don't worry, it's running in the background. You can work normally in the meantime. Now let's configure the security heartbeat for synchronized security so that endpoints can talk with a firewall. On the Firewall Control Center, go to Firewall. Here there are the firewall rules. This is the default rule created from the setup wizard. Go to Edit. First, let's give it a more comprehensive name, like outgoing from internal network. The rules in XG Firewall are set up in a way that the rule includes everything necessary for the communication, like source and destination, zones, IPs, networks, services, as well as identities like authentication or malware scanning, as well as application, web filtering, IPS, and synchronized security. Here we specify that only clients with a green heartbeat may communicate. For a Sophos protected client, a green heartbeat state means that everything is okay. All services are running, there's no malware found. Let's look at this client. Okay, it says green, your computer is protected. Let's go to the firewall. The firewall says security heartbeat green. Okay, this client is okay. It may communicate through this firewall. Let's try this. I'm going to a website and everything is okay. I can communicate through the firewall. Now I'd like to show you what happens when the client is not in a green state anymore. Therefore, I go to the ICA website and download a test virus. As soon as the test virus reaches the system, it's detected by the local endpoint client and the state changes from green to yellow. And I get a message that ICA AB test is detected in a local file. When I now try to access the internet, I get a block page that security heartbeat is not in a green state, therefore access is blocked. And on the firewall, I see the security heartbeat in yellow. No access through the firewall is possible from this client until the threat has been cleaned up. Now, the endpoint has now cleaned up the threat. It's green again. It says ICA AB test has been cleaned up, and I can again connect to the internet. Since the security heartbeat is green again, the firewall has again automatically enabled access. Now let's configure Sophos Email, a cloud-based antivirus and anti-spam service for email for your internal or cloud-based email systems. Here I log into a Sophos protected system as a different user, as the user John. I did this in order to show you something. The users defined in Sophos Central can be added there in different ways. This user was added automatically by just logging into a Sophos protected system. I can now go ahead, edit the user type or the user's email address. The reason I added the user's email address is to be able to send him an email for the Sophos self-service portal of Sophos Central. Let's go to the email setup link, and here I can say that I would like to send the user a self-service welcome email. What's this welcome email for? So let's go into the user's account. In this welcome email, there are a few links included. First of all, there's a link to set up his password, and afterwards there's a link how the user can always access the self-service portal. The self-service portal allows access to several services which the user can manage without having to ask the IT, just like email quarantine. Well, currently there's no email yet in there because we still need to configure a few other things in Sophos Central for email reception. In System Settings, Email Security Settings, you need to specify the email domain or domains which should be processed by Sophos Email. You need to do a few things like verification of the domain ownership. Here you find information how to configure the DNS and the mail routing for your domain, as well as instructions how to set up your internal or your cloud-based email systems. In this case, I specify my provider's email servers for delivery. After you've done this, you can configure the email security policy settings in the base policy and there in the email security section. Here you can change settings like spam filter sensitivity or spoofing protection, and after you're done, just press Save. The next thing which needs to be done is to specify the mailboxes for which Sophos email should be active. Therefore, you can either import mailboxes from a CSV file or just manually add users, distribution lists or public folders. I just add 2 users here with their respective email addresses. Alternatively, I can also synchronize the email addresses from my Active Directory. Now let's have a look at the email log. Under Logs and Reports, Email Security Message History, I see the emails from today. This email here was deleted, probably because it contained a virus. The next one was successfully delivered, it was okay, and this one was quarantined due to spam. Now let's have a look at the user's view of this. The user logs into the self-service portal, and now under email he sees that in the quarantine there is one entry, and this is the email which was spam and got in the quarantine. Let's click on the email to see a few more details. Now the user can himself, without asking the IT, either release the message or delete it himself. Let's go back in Central Admin to the Mailboxes page. Here you got a link for Setup Active Directory Sync in order to sync all the users and email addresses with either your internal or your Azure Active Directory conveniently. BitLocker Recovery means that you're able to access a system protected by BitLocker even if you forgot the password. So let's have a look at the computers protected by this account. There's this Windows 10 client and there is a section Device Encryption. And if you look at the encryption state, it says, well, this client is encrypted. So here I am in front of my BitLocker protected client. I enter the password, well, incorrect. Maybe I forgot it. I press Escape. Now I can enter a recovery key. But where do I get it from? Either I call my admin, who's got access to the central admin for all the systems. He goes to the client and presses Retrieve Recovery Key. Now he can give it to me over the phone. Or if I got self-service access, like shown before, I can not only access my email quarantine, I can also go to Device Encryption, click here, there is the computer, I click on Retrieve, and voila, I can get the recovery key myself. So after entering the recovery key, pressing Enter, the system starts up normally. Thank you for watching and bye bye.